I have always loved camping. There is something about being out in a tent, away from electronics and everyday life, that gives me a sort of a reminder that I'm not totally dependent on civilization and phones to survive. I know that not bringing my phone is where I made the biggest mistake, but hey, it's Michigan. We don't have scary predators here that cause me to worry, and I knew these particular woods very well. Never experienced anything bad before, so I figured it was a safe place to be. It was my younger brother Todd, my sister Amy, and her husband Don and me. All of us agreed to no phones, just tents, beer, and relaxing the time away from life. Well, I thought it was going to be relaxing. You can choose to believe what you will, but this happened, and my life is never going to be the same. We all rode together in my sister's van and parked at the site that we used to party at as teenagers. Even camped here a few times, but had about 5 more people with us. The spider spot. Really? Amy complained. When we first found this spot years before, there was an old stump that was littered with wolf spiders. We burned it to the ground after waking up in the middle of the night with 2 nasty spiders all over us. So we named it the spider spot. Come on, that stump is gone. Besides, it's only a quarter-mile walk, and my feet have been killing me from work, Todd sighed. We all grabbed our shit and started walking the 10 to 15-minute walk, looking forward to the fire and, of course, beer. The worst part of the walk was the damn broken branches that seemed to jump out just to stab you in the face and break off. After we finally got there, we did the usual setting tents up and grabbed wood for the fire so that the rest of the night would be filled with beer, laughter, and then bed. After about 25 creepy nighttime pissing trips. It must have been around 1:30 a.m. when things started getting weird. Hey, did you guys hear that? Don asked, shushing everyone. We sat quietly and after a few seconds heard the unmistakable sound of laughter. It's just some campers, man, probably doing the same thing we are, I answered with a laugh. Without warning, Todd shouted loudly to the people, "Got any more beer?" We all laughed and shushed him. We were having a blast and didn't think anything of it. Then we heard running. What the hell, Todd? You pissed them off. Amy started to panic a little bit. Don't worry, Amy. They're probably drunk and just wanting to talk, Don told her, but you could see the worried look on his face as the footsteps got closer. My heart was beating out of my chest, thinking we were going to get into a drunken brawl. Got any more beer? It sounded like a weird, recorded version of Todd, only a little bit different. What the fuck? All the hairs on my arms stood up. It really creeped me out. Very funny, assholes, Todd shouted. Then more footsteps, only this time it was away from our campsite. Must be drunken teenagers messing with us, Amy breathed a sigh of relief. We all kind of nodded and agreed it was time for bed. That was kind of a buzzkill and I think it creeped everybody out. Hey, I'm sleeping in your tent, bud, Todd said with kind of a nervous glance around the darkness. Pussy, I said with a laugh, but secretly happy not to have to rough it out alone. Once we were all in our tents, it was very quiet. It was the only time I can remember being kind of scared. I must have dozed off because I woke up to Todd shaking me. Dude, listen, he whispered quietly. At first, there was nothing. Then I heard the most terrifying thing I'd ever heard. It sounded like it was right outside my tent, like a foot away. I'm sleeping in your tent tonight, bud. Again, it sounded like Todd. I was about to shit my pants. Todd looked at me in horror, and I must have had the same look on my face because I was petrified. Then we heard it running again. Whatever it was ran off. Let's hurry and get the fuck out of here, Don shouted to my surprise. They must have been listening to whatever it was too. We all jumped out of our tents and ran back to the van as quickly as possible. I have never felt more relieved to be out of the woods. This was all last weekend, and this is 100% true. The worst part is Todd called me and said he's been hearing something outside of his house at night. He wants me to come over tonight, but I'm honestly afraid to.